Alright guys, today in the shop we have this Chevy Silverado. It's a 2500. It's a truck right here. We are going to change the oil pressure sensor switch. I'll show you the reason why. Let me get in the truck here. You can see our check engine light is on, and if you look over here, we have 0 pressure. The dealer wants probably anywhere from $700 to $900 because they do a flat rate on these things. They look up what the standard labor time is, and that's what they're going to charge you. So I'm going to try to save you guys a little bit of money. These switches are in a pretty tight spot. I got small hands, I'm a small person, but it can be done, and a lot of people tell you that you need to remove this and that and this and that and rip the whole top end of the motor apart to get to it, but I've done these before in the past, and I'm going to show you pretty much a more simplistic method to tackle this job, and hopefully this will save you some money. This is our switch here, our new one that I got from Napa. And there's our part number, and this is what it looks like. This is what we're going to take out. To give you an idea of where this sensor is located, we are at the front of the truck, and we are going to climb up here. I'm right over the center. All right, and you see your manifold cover here. Now this basically just pops up. If you pull up on it like that, and you can kind of just pull it out of there. Now, where it's going to be, let me see if I can get some proper light in here. Let's come back to our firewall back here, okay? Now this is our center of the truck. Just come off to the right a little bit and go straight back. You're going to see this plastic cover right here. It's going to be right behind there. Let's see if we can get down in there and get eyes on it. Now, you can see it right down there in the hole. That's your switch. I adjusted my light. You see the switch there now with the blue clip on it? That is it right there. So, how do we get that out of there? Alright, so I'm going to show you a picture right now. I took a picture of the adapter behind the block because it's really hard to get back there. And I want to show you this picture right now of what the wiring harness looks like that's going to it. Here it is. Now you see the white clips on there. In the center of that is where you need to push. All right, I took a pic kind of like this. All right, and I'm going to try to show you the best I can. So I apologize if the camera falls all over the place and stuff because it's really tight back here, but this is what you got to do. All right, so you see the switch down there. Now I'm going to take my pick. See the pick? I pushed in on it, and I just kind of pried up, and that whole white clip fell out of there. All right, but you got to find the center of it, again, with your pick, and push in and pry up. Now, the white clip fell out, which is fine. It happens to a lot of us. And now you should be able to pull that sensor right up. A lot of people try pushing on that blue piece right there. It's not the blue piece, it's the white clip on the back. In the center of it is where you want to push in and pry up. All right, now that my white clip fell off, let me see if I can get my hand back here. I should be able to pull up. There we go. I can pull it up and off of there. Let's see if we can get a better look at this now. All right, there it is here. All right, so this is where our white clip was on the back. And let's see, there we go. So it was straight up and down like that. I was pushing in on the center right there, and that whole white clip fell off of there. But that's the plug right there, and now we need to get a socket on top of that now. I believe that sensor is going to be the 27 millimeter, which I already have on this setup here. Now this is the kind of setup you're going to want. See how the ratchet head bends here? and I have an extension, and then I have the swivel adapter on the end. You can see how the ends are rounded here, which allows your socket a little bit of movement. This is a 27 millimeter, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the socket on there first rather than stick the whole ratchet drive assembly in there. We're going to take our socket now, and we're actually going to put it, we're going to go behind the plastic piece and go straight down onto our sensor down there, and be very careful you don't drop this socket down behind the engine there. All right, we're going to lower our socket on there. Okay, just kind of wiggle it around, make sure it drops down over it. All right, we're on there now. There's our socket right down there. All right, next, do your extension before you put the drive on. So we're going to put that into the socket. Down behind our plastic here. All right, you can see I got my extension in there now. Now we're going to put our swivel head ratchet drive on there. And just make sure that you already have it going left to loosen, just in case you can't get your hands back in there to adjust it. There we go. All right, now we are on, and right now we should be able to loosen. You want to it's a little tight. There it goes. Okay. And can't really see it down there, the position I'm in, but it's loosening. I'm gonna lift up here, and it should come out with it. Let's see. Yep, there it is. All right. There's our old sensor. All right, now that we got that out, we have our new pieces here. And what you want to do is take this little crush washer here, and you're just going to kind of turn it over top of the threads. Might be hard to do it one hand. Just kind of turn it to the right a little bit. If it's tough to get on, just turn it to the right, like so. There we go. All right, should look like that. Now we're gonna put the new one back in. I am literally sitting on top of the engine. I'm only about 5'6", so I'm able to do that, but for bigger people, you're probably gonna have to lay across it. Yeah. Be very careful you do not drop this in behind the motor, or you just went through all that for nothing, and you are not gonna be happy. So we're gonna lower this down, and it's hard to see here, and we're gonna get it lined up. Got it in there. I'm just gonna start a couple threads here with my finger. All right, I think we can get the socket on there now. Lower the socket down on there, and then your ratchet drive, and then you're gonna tighten it up. And I just dropped the socket. Luckily I heard it hit the ground. All right, was able to get the socket back on there. It was a little bit tricky because this plastic piece gets in the way of the socket. If you have too wide of a socket, it makes it hard for it to recess onto that sensor. And I think I was only able to get little tiny 1/4-inch turns here. Otherwise it was kicking off of the sensor. So I had to keep this almost straight and get little turns out of it. But I think I got it tight now. Definitely a challenging little job. Now we're gonna find our wiring harness and try to just snap it back over there. Let me reach behind here and try to find it. All right, we can see our switch there. The wire's back on. All right, let's start it up. Let's see what we get here now. Ugh. All right, you can see now our oil pressure is up, so we're good. I'm not gonna lie, that was a very uncomfortable job. That, next to doing a brake switch on one of these trucks, pain in the ass. So I can see why some mechanics, everybody has their different way, right? So I can see why some people remove a lot of lines and do a lot of things so they're not doing gymnastics under the hood trying to get that thing out. Because again, I'm not that big of a guy. I'm only like 5'6", borderline 5'7", and I have small hands, and it's a struggle. A lot of the guys that you watch on YouTube, some guys will try to make it look easier so they look good. I get it. They'll cut out the hard stuff. And maybe some people with luck of the draw get it done really easy. I'm sure people will chime in below saying it's not hard. You know, I'm just giving you my experience. It's a little bit challenging. Be prepared to, swear a couple of times. But it can be done if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend $700 to $900 at the dealer. Take your time, take a deep breath, get the right tools, and you can do it. So for a beginner, the first time doing this, I would say be prepared to be under there a good hour or so. If you're not a mechanic, hour and a half. If you know what you're doing and you're getting into it already and you're pretty handy with tools, it's probably about a 30-minute job or so, I would say. All right, well, I hope this helped you guys out and save somebody some money somewhere. And if it did, please hit subscribe below. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comments. See you guys next time.